So first, we need to know, and the leaders need to know, decision makers need to know that there are different decision-making styles. Consensus, democratic, consultative, directive, depending on how much team member have responsibility. Like consensus, you have to get agreement from everybody and one dissent applicable decision. So, team member have lots of responsibility in the decision making here. Whereas directive, leader makes decision based on his or her view. So team leader has a lot of responsibility, team member have few. The key is, it's not like one, but there's pros and cons on all decision making style. Like consensus looks great, but it takes a lot of time. So this is not a good style if you have to make urgent decision. Directive is good. Like if there's a fire, you have to say, you cannot say, okay, let's discuss what to do. Like, okay, go after the building. Leader needs to shout. And that's the directive style, which is good for urgent decision making. Decision that requires urgent actions. But if you want everybody to be on board and it takes a long, there's a long-term project, directive style might not work. You might want to go back to more consensus-based. So each style has appropriate context, right? So the leader or decision maker first need to say, okay, in this project, I am going to make a decision, directive style. But I would like to hear all of you, and based on that information, I will make decision. So that's kind of consultative or directive. Or in this project, or in this case, we are going to make decision based on democratic, the majority rules or consensus. So decision maker needs to clearly announce what style that person is going to make. So people have same expectation on how decision is going to be made. Most of the conflict starts because they're not clear about the decision-making styles. They thought their input will be reflected in decision-making, but it wasn't, right? So first, be clear about the decision-making style that is going to be used. And of course, people have different preferences and behaviors and influence in decision-making. So it's always good to first understand your own preference as well as the person that you wants to influence. Like, there's an example of Japan. Discussion is often done, in the group consensus and indirect way. So, if you know that style, then you know how to influence them. You have to be invited to the nemawashi process and influence instead of waiting to the formal meeting. So if you know the other person's preferred work style, you can influence their decision more effectively.